all that.
Football is football. That's cool. You know, it's a great deal. No, really, we're excited about the opportunity and the challenges this week. NC State has a really good football team. Coach O'Brien coaches them up to the best of their abilities, and it's gonna be a fun game. Of course, as an offense, we felt like we were somewhat embarrassed last season when we played them, and it's one of those years where we're just ready to get out there and have some fun out there.
Coach Randy said it kind of got away from you guys in a hurry.
It did. Some early turnovers, and it had short field to work with, and they scored to capitalize. And then we just didn't play up to our standard. We didn't play to our capabilities. So I think this team has changed in that fact, in that manner. I think we've matured, and it just showed this weekend. They're leading, or somewhere close to leading the ACC in sacks per game, and it's going to be a challenge. It's going to be exciting.
What kind of personnel challenges do they present as a defense?
They do a lot of different movements, a lot of different stunts. They bring a lot of pressure, and they got some really good guys in the back end as well. Good secondary. It's going to be a challenge for our receivers. They may do some things similar to what some other teams have done earlier this season. I mean, it's just one of those deals where you just got to be prepared. I mean, they're going to play disciplined defense. They're going to play with or play how they're coached to and taught to play. And it's one of those deals where when we got opportunity, we got to take advantage of it. So it'll be a good game.
We're taking like Wake, maybe. You said they might play like some teams that earlier in the season.
I mean, I think they might. I mean, they're going to man us up sometimes. There's going to be opportunities in that sense. But at the same time, I think one of their deals is, I was reading something earlier, I don't think that they're going to try to give us a lot of deep opportunities as well. So, I mean, when the opportunity, again, presents itself to make shots and ain't going to make plays, you got to make them. In that sense, you can't go out there and force it. You can't go out there and try to make things happen that's not there. And we just got to go and play our game in that sense. And we just got to be able to move the ball effectively and consistently. And I think this offense is ready for that challenge.
I think Coach Morris said yesterday you might be a better passer at 35 yards than 5 yards. What's gotten you so comfortable with those deep balls and deep throws?
I think it's just more of a confidence. There's a lot of work in the offseason. I know there's a lot of question marks about me throwing the deep ball accurately after last season, and it's one of those things that you want to work on. I think it's all, again, just like in the intermediate to short run, I think it's all footwork related. I think it's all footwork based, and we just got to be able to hit those opportunities. You got plenty of guys that can go out there and fly and go get it. So, I mean, they got to step. You just got to let it go out there and just let the ball ride, and they'll catch up to it. And it's one of those deals where, again, we pride ourselves on take advantage of the opportunities when they present themselves, and I think we've done a good job with that so far this season.
Any training gimmicks when you were practicing deep balls?
Yeah, I mean, I practiced deep balls a pretty good bit.
Yeah, but I mean, did you, like, I've known guys that would, like, take trash cans and set them 30 and 40 yards away and get on their knees and try to drop them in, and guys, real small windows with it's only, like, you know, just stuff like that.
I mean, we got, we go at least once a week with Coach Morris. We do drop nets, which I think helps to fade balls out more than anything. And that's why we've been so consistent when we get down in that 15 to 20 to 15 and closer of hitting those balls right in the corner. I mean, we practice it so much, and I think it translates into the games. And it's just, we do a lot of work with those deep balls as well, especially with the drop nets, and it's a good deal with that.
Where does the trust come first? With you as to putting the ball where it needs to be, or you in the receiver and being where the ball is going to be?
I think it's mutual. Because, I mean, for me, a lot of my stuff is spot throws. I mean, I trust those guys to, you know, hold their width a certain amount, and I'm going to throw it here or there. Or just in general, maybe a guy is trailing, maybe I just throw a back shoulder. I think it's more of just the chemistry with the guys and just knowing where they're going to be at, and they kind of know where I'm going to put the ball at. I don't think there's been too many times this season where there's been miscues on where the ball's going to be, maybe one or twice, but other than that, I think it's been pretty successful. And it all comes from what we do in the off season. So.
Coach Sweeney said that he certainly had a bunch of questions about the offensive line in the spring. As the guy who might have had a run for his life behind them, did you have some questions in the spring that they, that whether they could do what they're doing right now?
I mean, it was a little concerned, but just because of the fact that a lot of them just never played before.
Yeah.
I mean, I think this game is all about experience and maturing in that fact, and I think these guys did a great job of kind of being to the point where, I mean, they were challenged so much during the spring, whether it was goal line situations, short yard situations, and they looked at that as motivation. I think they looked at that as that for those guys, for them to encouragement and to try to be the best that they can be, and they've done a great job with that this season. And I don't think there's going to be really any more question marks about them in that regard. And I mean, there's always more room for improvement, but I think they've done a great job of just doing their jobs the best that they can.
I mean, the weight that must take off your mind too when you're back there, it's got to be immense.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I mean, quarterbacks, I mean, when you sit back there, you got to feel comfortable. And it's one of those deals where if you don't feel comfortable, you're not going to be able to sit down there in the pocket and being able to step in your throws or just feel comfortable making all the throws possible. And those guys do an outstanding job. I mean, as you can see, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable out there right now. So, I mean, it's one of those deals where you just got to keep growing with it.
They talk about those guys, and Coach Caldwell talk about the union that they have. Do they let anybody else in the union, or is it just?
Eric McLean dropped in the union, of course, and he converted. But other than that, man,
you couldn't get in if you.
I couldn't get in the union. And I probably tried to take him out to eat. Other than that, I can't get in there, man. So those are my guys. Though they do a great job, great personalities, and just some try hard guys. I mean, they're going to do everything in their power, to make sure that we're successful. And it really all starts up there with them. So I don't think they get enough credit, honestly. And that's why, I mean, after every game, it's always especially important to go congratulate those guys and just tell you how proud you are of them. So.
How important is the chemistry you built with Dalton? I think he's set to set the school snaps record this week, which has really been a consistent force in the line for you.
Dalton, I mean, Dalton is like the grandfather of those guys. So, I mean, me coming in, I was just even nervous getting snaps from him when I first got the opportunity to take over. And it's just one of those deals where you got to get comfortable with a guy. I mean, he had somebody taking snaps from him before, and it's one of those deals where you just got to get accustomed to him. And you just want that guy to be more confident in you than even the coaches in that aspect, because I think the confidence that he has in you, and it relates off of, and those other guys can see it. That's why it's such a big deal, like when he's in there, because I mean, those guys, he knows the system so much, and he just has so much experience that those guys just feed off of him, and they feel very comfortable, very confident, and you can just see it in their expressions. And I mean, if anything, I think that Norton and Jay Guillermo have set are playing behind just one of the, I think, best centers that I've ever seen. I mean, from the way he competes to the way he snaps, and just to his knowledge. So, I mean, I don't think that you can study behind a guy better than that.
Taj, I have to ask. You were talking about the offensive line question marks in the beginning of the season, defense question marks in the beginning of the season. Did you guys enter this year with a chip on your shoulder, everyone with an edge, saying nobody thinks we're that talented on either the line or on the other side of the ball?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, I think coming to the season, it was like you don't really read it, but you hear it, and you hear like, oh, Clemson's going to win maximum 8 games, maybe 9, things of that nature. Just one of those deals where you take it and you pride yourself on just putting in that work in the offseason, because that's the thing that people will forget. That's the thing that they don't factor in there. It is the amount of time and the work that you put in, and just the drive. I mean, statistics, talent level, skill level, that's all good, but when it comes to game time, you kind of throw that out the window, because if that guy's in front of you competes harder than you, no matter how talented you are, he gives better effort than you, he's going to win. And I think that's what this team prides itself on. We want to, again, offensively, I mean, we look at it as a realistic goal to go out there and score every drive. I mean, we've come close to it. It's probably not going to happen, but that's just our expectation and just how comfortable we feel out there. And it's just one of those deals where you're going to give everything again for that guy beside you and just expect the most out of him. You're not going to expect more than you're going to give. So I think that's just the difference.
Do you feel that's why this season it's even more important to finish strong? Last year you guys struggled down the stretch and maybe the national perception of what Clemson could do changed. This year if you finish strong, do you think you can change a lot of people's minds from a national perspective of what Clemson football is?
I don't think so. I mean, things will come, I guess, with time. Again, I lose so many points last year when you heard the phrase, when's Clemson going to pull a Clemson, things of that nature. I've heard less and less of that this year. So I think that the stigma is starting to change. I think that the perception is changing slowly but surely. But again, I mean, people are going to think what they want to think, but all we can do is control what we can, especially from the inside out, and just continue to work and play at a high level. So I think, Coach Sweeney coming to the season was the next step for this program was to be a consistent winner. And that's what we pride ourselves on. We want to be the best team we possibly can be. I mean, lost the game. Obviously, we want to be 10-0 at this point, but at the same time, we kind of just take everything and learn from it. So, the best we can be is 11-1 at this moment. And, that's what we pride ourselves on. That's what we want to be. That's what we're going to work for. So, it's a big game for us this weekend. It's a big opportunity, and they're going to present a lot of different things. But we just got to go out there and just play our game.
Hard to stay focused maybe this week when there are students camping out for South Carolina tickets?
Nah, not at all. Because you see how quickly a game can slip away from you, and just worrying about the other factors. I mean, it's like everybody's pumped up, 7 o'clock game, this and that. But we got NC State this weekend, and those guys aren't going to come in here and just lay down. They're going to come with everything they got. Tom O'Brien, tremendous coach. See what he did at Boston College, seeing what he's done to the NC State program. So, I mean, he's just coaching those guys up to a T. And it's going to be a fun game. It's a home game, of course. I mean, you got to love playing at home. So, we just got to go out there and just try to play to our best, play to our standard.
What challenge does Anderson present? Chad and Dabo both said he felt like the secondary won that battle through season last year.
Yeah, I think we just lost the battle as a whole. I mean, it's different because, I mean, he's a 6'3" corner, can move, got some weight on, things of that nature. But again, we pride ourselves on trying to be the best and trying to be the best offense, best players, best player on that field, best player in that position. And you got to go out there and win opportunities like this, win challenges like this. And it's one of those deals where they ain't really like, I want to say it's like a vengeance thing, but we pride ourselves in playing to a certain way, and that's kind of how we feel about this week. So guys are going to prepare, they're going to work as hard as they can, and hopefully things turn out for the best.
You're getting to the point where people are going to start asking you, are you going, are you staying, would you ever look at the NFL draft? What would be your motivation for coming back?
Just for those guys beside me. Things like this, teams like this, and the camaraderie, I mean, I get a chance to talk to a lot of guys who've come, who've gone, just guys who are seniors, don't have an option, that are about to leave. And I mean, you just work for those guys beside you. I mean, just from the process. The process is the most fun thing about it. The games are fun, but just the memories that you gain from the off season and the things that you go through as teammates, the fights, the arguments. I mean, it's like a family, and you won't ever have that again. I know when I talk to a lot of those guys, when they're at that next level, they don't even hang out with the guys. They don't, because it's all business. I mean, it's somewhat of a business, but not to that aspect. It's still a family. It's still a brotherhood. So I know coming to Clemson, one of my main things was like, I want to win championships. I really feel like this team is becoming to the point where I think it's going to become a powerhouse. is going to be consistent, and I think there's going to be opportunities to win the national championship here. And I mean, that's how we feel. We feel that way strongly, and we don't think anybody can tell us that any different. So I mean, you got to enjoy playing here, and I definitely enjoy playing here.
So you're coming back?
I mean, it's still up in the air, you know. It's just one of those things where all you can do is control what you can and just take it from there. But at the same time, I don't think there's any place better than here. So.
Okay, I think that's a good place to stop.